Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Faith and this is Faith's Pulse. I'm a Nigerian living in Brisbane, Australia, and on my channel I talk about meaningful living, travel and general living tips here in Australia. Today we'll be moving away from travel vlogs and I'll be sitting down with you to talk about some of the working conditions I have enjoyed since moving to Australia. These working conditions are quite different from what I've been used to, and I feel like you should know about it as well if you're looking forward to move to Australia. If that's the kind of video you'd love to see, then definitely keep on watching. You're welcome back, guys. So just before I start to tell you about the working conditions I really like here in Australia, here's a bit of a backstory. So I moved to Australia in 2020, just before COVID, and like you probably already know, a lot of businesses were shut down, no one was recruiting. So I spent my time volunteering and also doing a short course. By 2021, businesses were open again and I was ready to, of course, start working. So I joined the education industry and that's where I've been working up until now. So that's about a year and some months. So here are the amazing benefits I've been enjoying. So it's possible that the working conditions in the education industry is quite different from other industries in Australia, but some of these points I'll be mentioning cuts across to other industries as well. So yeah, if that sounds like something you'd love to hear, let's jump right into it. So the first thing I really enjoy about working in Australia is the work-life balance. Australians are very interested in work-life balance. You'll find employers organizing team bonding sessions, organizing lunch and dinner for their employees. You'll find employees planning events. You'd also find colleagues talking about the events or activities they want to get involved in over the weekend. You'll find families booking their holiday trips way ahead of time, and that's something I really love. I feel like this has rubbed off on me as well. Even though I don't get a long period of time to go on holidays, I feel like every weekend I just want to do something interesting. I want to go somewhere, I want to see something, and of course document it and upload for you guys to enjoy. So I really love the work-life balance here. I'm not even complaining. Totally love it. The second thing I really enjoy about working here in Australia is the availability of jobs. The Australian market is quite competitive, but that doesn't mean that you won't find a job if you're looking for. You just need to be open-minded, have the right mindset, and of course, don't forget you have a goal. Some of you will start with transitional jobs and even end up loving these transitional jobs and stay back. And if that's not your cup of tea and you just want to jump right into your intended career, of course, you need to be patient, but there's always a job for you, from transitional jobs to white collar jobs to blue collar jobs to offering services. There's always something for you to do as long as you're open-minded and you know you have a goal in mind. One thing I also really love about trying to find a job here in Australia is that there are agencies that can help you find these jobs and make the search very seamless. So aside handing out your CVs to individual companies, you can also sign up with agencies and they'll contact you when there's a job available for you. I really feel like that makes it less stressful for people who have just come into Australia and trying to find a job. So the third working condition I really love here in Australia is the minimum wage. Now, this is something everyone would love. Correct me if I'm wrong. Australia currently maintains the world record for the highest minimum wage, which goes at $21 per hour. This is amazing, and this means that you can live a good lifestyle, you can have a good quality of life as long as you're actually earning money. Things may be quite expensive in Australia, but you will definitely be able to cater to your basic needs and your bills if you're planning very well. I really love this, and I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are thinking about migrating to Australia as well. So there you have it. If you're thinking about coming to Australia, the minimum wage is great. It's one of the highest in the world, and of course you can live a good life if you know how to plan properly. So one of the other things I really love about working in Australia is the ability for you to negotiate your contract. This is not something I was very used to back home. I know that in Australia, you are able to give your availability times to your employer. Now, this may vary according to industries, but of course, you would have the opportunity to mention if you can work a full-time job, if you can work a permanent part-time job, or if you want a casual job. Some employers even go ahead to ask you which days you will be available to be at work. So if you don't want to work from Mondays to Fridays, you can choose to work 4 days in a week or 3 days in a week, depending on how flexible your time is. I really like that you're given the opportunity to do this. Again, this might not be obtainable in all industries, but in the education sector, you're allowed to choose if you want to work like 4 days in a week or 5 days in a week. I really love the flexibility that this working condition affords you, because it means that you can have time to plan for yourself or plan for a side hustle or a business that you intend to start. So if you don't want to work for 5 days, you can decide to work for just 4 days. This is really beautiful if you ask me. So of course, another working condition that excites me here in Australia is the payment of salaries. From what I'm used to, salaries are usually paid at the end of the month, but here in Australia, salaries are paid every fortnight. This means that every 2 weeks you're getting some money paid into your account, and I really love that it's done this way, because most bills are paid every fortnight in Australia as well. So it helps you cater to your utility bills. I feel like this is great because you don't want to wait until the end of the month before you get money to pay for your utility bills. So yeah, this is one working condition that I really like. Now, another working condition that I really love here in Australia is the tax return system. This is not something I'm very used to. From my previous experience, I know that my employers will deduct an amount of money every month as my tax, but I was never directly involved in like the calculations. I did not have too much details, but I knew that money was usually set aside for tax. However, when you're working in Australia, you are obligated to lodge in your tax return. So basically, your employer makes your tax statement available, and you can access this through your MyGov account. To lodge your tax returns, you can decide to do this yourself or seek assistance from financial institutions. So what I find really fascinating about tax returns is that you're able to claim some amount of money when you're lodging your tax. So basically, you can claim any amount you have spent that goes towards work. So basically, your trainings, your shoes, your stationaries, whatever it is that all you have spent towards work, you can definitely claim it. The tax office will return some amount to you after your tax return has been completed. Amazing, right? Guys, tell me, which government actually gives back their residents or citizens money after they have paid for tax? It happens here in Australia, and I think it's really beautiful. It's not something I'm used to, so I really love it. Like, any money is welcome. Please give me the money. Keep bringing it. Who doesn't like good money? Yeah, let me know in the comment section if you're living in a country that's not your home country. Does the government give you back money after you've lodged your tax returns? I'm really curious now. I'd like to find out if that's something that happens where you currently live. So the other thing I really enjoy about working here in Australia is language. Most people travel to countries and would have to learn the native language there just so they can communicate with other people, but here in Australia, English is the main language, so that means it's easy for you to communicate with your colleagues at work. Now, this might not be a walk in the park because people have different accents. Australians have their accents, Nigerians have their accents, other African countries have their accents, so the way they speak English might be different from how you speak English as well. So you might have to be a bit patient, speak slowly so your colleagues can understand you. For me, I find that I talk really fast sometimes, so I have to actually slow down so that whoever I'm speaking with understands what I'm saying. Finally, I really love that the Australian workspace is very inclusive. This means that if you're living with a disability, it does not stop you from getting a job. Workspaces are designed in a way that it is accessible to everyone who is living with a disability. So you have wheelchair accessible doors, there are elevators, escalators, anything to make life easy for those living with disability. I really love that the designs are intentionally done, and it just feels really nice to work in an inclusive environment. So that's something I really love about working here in Australia. It is very inclusive, there's no discrimination, and everybody really, tries to be as civil as possible. Now, I know I said finally, but this is just something I need to throw in. I really love the fact that no one is throwing their age in your face. I mean, it's an environment that encourages you to call your boss by their first name, and I don't know what else screams equality aside that. So I really love that everyone is very civil, everyone would listen to you, especially if you are contributing something meaningful. Nobody is telling you I'm older than you, or I have this degree, or I'm better than you. So whether you're male or female or junior or senior, you're allowed to contribute at meetings, and nobody will look down on you or look down on your gender. It's just a comfortable working environment. Now, I know that not all work cultures are the same, so it might vary according to industries, but I feel like I've been fortunate to work in an environment where no one is looked down upon, everyone listens to each other, you contribute equally as long as you're interested in talking during the meetings. I like that I have enjoyed the benefits of being heard, explain to your bosses, share your opinion opinions with them. And it is also documented as well, so you actually know what part you have contributed to the team. It's amazing. Now I know that this is not the cup of tea of all companies. I know that the work culture will differ in all companies, but these are some of the things you can enjoy if you eventually come to Australia and you're fortunate enough to work in an environment that is very conducive. So that's some of the working conditions. That's not all, but that's some of the working conditions I currently enjoy here in Australia, and I feel like you should know about them if you'll be moving here in the near future. So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I also hope it helps you manage your expectations and of course plan for when you finally move here to Australia. If these working conditions are things you relate with, let me know in the comment section. Leave me a comment in the comment section. I love to respond to them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and of course click on the notification bell, because that's how you stay notified when there's a new video on the channel. Also let me know in the comment section if you have questions and if you have video requests, and I will try to film them as soon as I can. See you in my next video, and take care of yourself. Bye. That took a lot of explaining. Oh my goodness.
Is it okay if I'm the